Johan.
Hey, I'm Jacqueline. And together we are Harvey and Steele.
We're here to make your business everything that you want it to be.
And today we're going to talk about 5 tips for maximizing your daily productivity. I'm going to start off with tip number 1, which is to create your ideal day. So basically what you want to do is write out the framework for what you want your day to look like, when you want it to start, when you want it to end, when you want your breaks to be in the middle, and then everything else is going to be placed in that structure.
So that's the second tip that I want to talk about. It's something that we say every time we show up to work, and it is, you're here, so be here. Mindfulness, I know it's a buzzword right now, and it's applied a lot to personal growth, but it's just as applicable to professional progress and growth as well. So you're here, so be here. When you set out to do a task, just focus on that, engage it, and minimize distractions when you're heading into whatever task you're going for that part of the day.
Mindfulness, hashtag mindfulness. Okay, tip number 3 is when you arrive at your workplace, or like me, if you work at home, when you arrive to your desk, create 3 non-negotiable tasks for that day. You can't have 10 priorities. That just goes against the nature of what a priority is. So create 3 non-negotiable tasks / priorities that you are going to get done, and make sure that you stick to those. Minimize distractions, just focus on those 3 things.
Tip number 4, we want to talk about the Pomodoro Method. Which comes from a tomato timer that was used to set work cycles. And so the tip is to create cycles with your work. For us, we work in 90-minute work blocks, and then we take half an hour or so off to disengage, and then re-engage with another 90-minute work block of completely undistracted, dedicated work. So the Pomodoro Method works differently for different people, but it basically is to set a timer for what works for you and experiment and find out biologically what works for you. And it might be 35 minutes, it might be an hour, it might be 90 minutes, it might be a 15-minute break, it might be a 30-minute break, it might be a 5-minute break, but whatever works best for you, use cycles to maximize productivity.
And you'll know when you start to get loopy that your return on time investment isn't good anymore, and that's when you need a break. So set that timer, experiment a little bit, figure out what works for you. Okay, we are on tip number 5. Tip number 5. Schedule time to look at email and social media. We all know, and we're all guilty of it, of clicking on emails as they come in, or checking Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat, whatever your drug of choice is. But we recommend creating space every single day to check social media, to check email, and put a timer on that too. Let's say you want to spend 20 minutes replying to emails. Make sure that you only spend 20 minutes, and you arrive there, you do what you have to do, and then you're done, and you move on to the next thing where you're not distracted, because social media and email can be so distracting, and they can be such a time suck. So set that timer.
And there are a lot of apps like that for productivity and for time setting and stuff. You had one that you said you used.
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
I use an app called Nice Timer on my laptop. I'm sure there are all kinds of other apps you can use. You can also just set an alarm,
exactly.
For however long your work block is.
And pro tip, just a little postscript. I know we said 5 tips, but very important. Take one day of no work. It's important to unplug, and it's important to come back rejuvenated and refreshed and driven and re-inspired in all of this, creating cycles with your work and your realistic to-do list, all of the stuff we just talked about. Just remember to unplug as well.
Yeah, every week unplug. And on that day, that doesn't mean do all your laundry, clean your house, run a bunch of errands. It means unplug and recharge. Go live your life, have fun. Mm-hmm. We love to work hard, but we also love to have fun, because we believe that then when we come back to work, we're more creative, we're more productive, we're happier, we're just better people.
Exactly. There it is.
There are your 5 tips for productivity. Okay, so join us Tuesday, March 14th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are going to be doing a Facebook Live in our Harvey and Steele business page to answer any questions that you have about productivity. So March 14th, 6 p.m. Mark your calendars. We're going to be going live.
Tune in.
Tune in. Tune in. Thanks for joining us on this coffee break. Cheers to growth and here's to the grind.